Maya Moore, man. What can I say about Maya Moore? This video is 18 minutes, so the intro can't be that long. But, the greatest high school basketball player I've ever seen, boys or girls, in my lifetime. So shout out to Maya Moore. Link to the original video will be in the description. Shout out to the ESPYs. All footage belongs to Disney, ESPN, ESPYs, and the Disney Channel family of networks. Please do not sue me, copyright strike this, or take this down. Thank you.
Birthday today. All these years since his passing, we wish, in particular those of us who were fortunate, blessed to know him, we wish that Arthur was still here, still making an impact on the world, still fighting in his own powerful yet graceful way for issues that, again, very much matter today. Civil rights, equality, justice for all. As we know all too well, since we lost Arthur, the world remains still filled with these challenges, but there are
R.I.P. Arthur Ashe
in the world of sports that have taken up his legacy of courage. Athletes who have uncommon lengths to themselves, the causes that matter to them.
This is a legend, bro. Like Maya Moore is now a legend, bro.
Real change.
That junk is crazy, bro. From Gwinnett, bro. From the north, bro.
Stands out. Just think about this. A few years ago, she was one of the best basketball players in the world, but at the peak of her prime, she walked away from the game to dedicate her life to fighting for an injustice she refused to let stand. And what has unfolded since is a journey through the American prison system. It is a tale of determination, of friendship, and love. A vision of courage from a dynamic woman who says her work is not yet finished.
It's not done yet. Shout out to Madison McLaren.
This was the way we got to know Maya Moore, a back-to-back national champion at UConn, a four-time WNBA champion with the Minnesota Lynx, and a two-time gold medalist for Team USA.
Maya Moore, who has now been here so many times, I've lost track. Basically, there's like a Maya Moore wing in the White House. And when she comes, we got all this stuff here. She's got a toothbrush.
In Atlanta, sweeping the dream in the finals. Lord have mercy. God bless the dream. We gonna get one day. We gonna get one day. Look at that. Over McBride in San Antonio.
WNBA history to score in double figures, literally.
Bro, I'm so proud, bro. Hey, what I say in the page video? Hold on, let me be quiet. Let me shut up.
A lot more than just a basketball superstar.
4 off-duty police officers providing security at the Minnesota Lynx game on Saturday staged a walk-off, refusing to provide security because of this. WNBA players wearing Black Lives Matter t-shirts.
The captains at the time, Maya Moore, Lindsay Whalen, Rebecca Brunson, Simone Augustus, they wanted to do something, and the t-shirt spoke loudly.
We knew that we might not have everyone be on our side about it, but accountability matters. And so if we see something happen in our backyard with Philando Castile, we want to have that accountability as a team that we see what's happening and we don't approve of it.
It is time that we take a deep look at our ability to be compassionate and empathetic to those suffering from the problems that are deep within our society.
I think we can all look back on the Minnesota Lynx in 2016, and we can say they were the catalyst for a lot of the social justice work you see in our league now.
But for Maya Moore, that moment in 2016 was just the continuation of a journey fighting injustice she had been on for many years. A journey that in many ways began where she was born in Missouri, when she was introduced to a family friend in prison.
My great uncle, we call him Papa, he had been involved in prison ministry for decades. And through a choir program of him volunteering at the Jefferson City Correctional Center, he met Jonathan. And then my godparents, Sherry and Reggie Williams, started to tell me about this young man that was wrongfully incarcerated. And they were investigating his case and helping him fight for his freedom.
In 1997, Jonathan had been arrested at 16 for a burglary and shooting that he denied committing. But he'd been convicted as an adult and given a 50-year sentence. Maya's family had made it their mission
50.
to help him get released.
At one of her visits, we just had stuff spread out everywhere. And Maya asked about it, and I asked her, would you like to get on his visiting list?
I knew I was good. I was safe if they're going, and just wanted to meet Jonathan.
I'll never forget it. Maya, she came in, she hugged me, and she looked me directly in the eye. And I just felt this sense of peace being around her.
So Maya Moore, emerging basketball superstar, and Jonathan Irons, inmate number 101145 at Jefferson City Correctional Facility, began a friendship.
She went off to college, and I would call her maybe once every 2 months, and we started talking more frequently. And we became really, really good friends.
We'd have conversations, and he would be encouraging me, and my mind would be blown. And I'm like, dude, you're in prison. How are you encouraging me?
With the first pick in the 2011 WNBA draft, the Minnesota Lynx select Maya Moore from the University of Connecticut.
As Maya's stardom and success grew, so too did her drive to fight for Jonathan, to find ways to shine a light on the injustice that had landed him in prison.
My education journey ramped up. Then I started learning about prosecutorial what? You know, I didn't know anything about prosecutorial misconduct, and learning how to say that over and over. Got with my agent and other resources and said, hey, should we start a nonprofit, you know? And so Win With Justice was born. Win With Justice is a platform to talk about Jonathan's case, but also to help people get educated on what's really going on and redefining what a win is in our justice system. There was no physical evidence, no DNA, nothing tying him to the scene of the crime.
Cutting Maya Moore finds some space.
I've just been on this journey of learning, having my eyes open, but it's connected to an actual person, and so it's very real to me. The power issue is a spiritual issue. Like, there's a heart issue. It's making you not want to be generous with your
Sally.
We can talk about it all we want, but until you're willing to lay something down, nothing's going to change.
I can recall the day that she called me over to her apartment. You know, Maya's very, private. And I was a little skeptical at first, and then I was like, okay, did I do something wrong? And then she got emotional, and she told me that this probably would be her last season.
At the height of her career, Maya Moore stunned the sports world, stepping away from basketball to fight for justice and the release of one man, Jonathan Irons.
That's a big, bold decision for someone who's arguably in the prime of their career, having incredible success, arguably one of the best players in the world in that moment, to just walk away from that talent. But it wasn't shocking. You know, she was just about more than just basketball all the time.
From that point on, Maya devoted herself full-time to working to get Jonathan's conviction overturned.
She launched a petition for Jonathan.
It's one of the best feelings of giving somebody a voice. You're just one person. But then I realized when I give Jonathan a voice, so many other people get a voice.
It wasn't just about spreading the word, though. Maya and her family worked with lawyers to uncover new evidence in Jonathan's case. Evidence that prosecutors had failed to share with Jonathan's lawyers during the trial.
Unfortunately, it's another step to another step, but it's a big step to finally have the truth be told in this context.
And that discovery got the attention of a judge.
It will be the judgment of the court that the petitioner has established he is entitled to habeas relief on his Brady claim.
Dang, right before the shutdown.
Be vacated and the petitioner be discharged from custody.
Broken down.
Who chopping onions? Who chopping onions?
Another revelation in the story. The
like that
They kept it
song.
quiet until Jonathan was released. They had fallen in love during the fight to get him freed. And soon after that day finally came, they were married in an intimate ceremony. Their life together is just beginning as they continue their work side by side. Maya Moore says she is not finished. There are a lot more Jonathans out there, a lot more injustices to fight against, a world to lift up, one courageous step at a time.
Look at this on the Dream, bruh. I'll never forget this. She did the Dr. J on the Dream in the finals, bruh.
Championships by now, 3 more MVPs, a couple. She could have continued her career and still been the best in the game. I get that Maya is a generational talent, really and truly. And I could sit here and tell you that we're going to miss her on this Olympic team. And we've missed her on the national team the last couple of years. Without a doubt. She's that good. But if somebody feels that strongly about something and for their own well-being needs to do it, like, who are any of us to question that?
Impact is not just about going far and wide. Impact, if we really look at it, is more about the narrow and deep. What Jonathan and I have done, what my godparents did, what my great uncle did, was narrow and deep. I hope my legacy can be connected to that.
It is an honor to welcome this year's
Y'all better stand the heck up. What the heck is y'all doing, man? Shout out to Robin Roberts as well, man. She a nice person. Yo, Robin Roberts a whole icon in her right. And you meet her, bro, she nice, bro. Like, a lot of people who that, you know what I'm saying? They stuck up, blah, blah, blah. Robin Roberts a nice person, so salute to Robin Roberts as well. But dang, man, looking at them Dream highlights, bro, I'm like, dang. Dream got swept about 3 times in the finals. So Maya Moore herself, she going to the side like Dr. J in the 80s. Oh, my gosh. That last shot, that might be the most iconic shot. No, she hit a game winner against the Fever. I think that was, about 2015, 2016 in the final. That might be the most iconic shot of the W. But that's up there. That little Dr. J scoop. Anyways.
Thank you to so many people. I could spend 5 minutes just going down a list of people to thank. The group I'm with right now, you know what you've meant to me, and Jonathan, I'm so happy for you. Y'all, let's just say hallelujah. First of all, that Jonathan is sitting
Hallelujah.
here right now.
We finna have some church. It is Sunday when I'm recording this.
Get old of just the miracle of your life and who you are. So,
I'll watch live stream just in
but
case
what
you.
an honor it is to be accepting an award tonight in the spirit of Arthur Ashe on his birthday. I mean, how better? What a better way to honor him. He was a man who was persistent in living out his passion for change. The headline has been centered around the courage it took for me to step away from the game of basketball. But I'd like to take some time with you tonight to actually talk about a different aspect of courage in this story. Specifically, the courage that it takes to love when it's hard. The courage to live in a way where you're in real relationship with people. And so if you want to say I have courage, I'd say my courage has not been as much in me not playing, but in the emotional and mental and spiritual outpouring into love and fighting against injustice. One of the most freeing things that I've truly come to know in my 20s, I'm 32, so the 20s was a big deal to me recently. But one of the most freeing things I've come to realize is that I'm a creative being, wonderfully made in God's image.
Amen.
And that means I don't have to define myself, but my all-knowing, all-loving, all-powerful Creator has designed me for a beautiful purpose. I'm sure I'm not alone in wrestling with the question of what it means to be human. And for me, the combination of knowing Jonathan, getting the courage from speaking out with my teammates in 2016, on top of just trying to prayerfully walk with the Lord, those all led to the first heartbeats of Win with Justice, or simply a call to...
All right, Gronk. All right, he's another good guy. Gronk is another good guy who you'd be surprised he's a good guy. Like, he's like, everything you see in front of the camera, that is Gronk in real life. Salute to Gronk. You're a good dude, man. If you happen to come across this, you're a good dude, Gronk.
To be active participants against prosecutorial misconduct in our justice system. Prosecutors are uniquely positioned to help remedy unjust sentences. They're called to serve the people and fight injustice. And true justice doesn't only mean getting convictions. Now that Jonathan is free, we're able to really shift our focus to equipping people with tools for change. That's why we're partnering with For the People, a leading national nonprofit that supports prosecutors and family members as they seek to remedy unjust sentences. Together, we're offering a new tool to win with justice: prosecutor-initiated resentencing. It's for prosecutors, it's for community members who are all working to bring their loved ones home. And with this new tool, prosecutors now have the ability to reunite families and restore communities that have been decimated by mass incarceration. As athletes, we have unique power and influence over our culture and communities for what matters most. And one of the best ways that we role model this is by being honest about our own humanity first. We're more than athletes. We are complex, multi-layered human beings created to know each other and to be known in real relationship. Taking time to be in real relationship is the start of real change. We weren't designed to grow alone. This is Win with Justice. Loving your neighbor, especially the ones not exactly like you. When I met Jonathan, we both knew that we had different life experiences, but we both stepped outside of our comfort zone, developed a friendship, and now we have become more of who we were destined to be. This is the Win with Justice story. Love costs. Love sacrifices. Sacrifice is one of the most compelling aspects of sports. The sacrifice of comfort for a greater level of skill. The sacrifice it takes to work together as a team so everyone can shine in their gifts. These sacrifices we make in sports are great, but I would invite you to see them as just pointers to the sacrifices of life that matter most. The ones that are centered around helping each other live to the fullest. Sacrificing the power you have to humanize someone else. Power is not meant to be gripped with a clenched fist or to be hoarded, but power is meant to be handled generously so we can thoughtfully empower one another to thrive in our communities for love's sake, championing our humanity before our ambitions. Thank you so much.
Yo, I know it's been said over and over again, but like when you have to really just think about who this is. Like I said, like this is the greatest high school basketball player I have seen in person ever, boys or girls. One of the greatest players to ever step on a court. To get to that level of greatness, you have to like do an absurd amount of work. Like just to be, a WNBA starter, just to be on a WNBA roster, the amount of work you have to put in is like absurd. Like to the average human, and just to even be on a Division I college basketball scholarship, the amount of work you have to put in is like absurd, like beyond the normal human capacity, or which a normal human would think it's like, this is the most work I can ever do. So to put as much work as Maya Moore, someone like Maya Moore has put in, and then just be like, Life is bigger than this. In their 20s, dog, that's next level thinking, bro. And that's a gift that a lot of people might not have at such a young age of life is larger than this. I'll kind of just leave it at that, but that's something I definitely I could definitely identify with that, of just like life is bigger than this. You know, what is the motive to be put in this box? Like, what am I driving myself to? Like Sue Bird said, like, and Renee Montgomery, she could have won 3 more MVPs, 2 more titles, like, but for what, bro? Like, at the end of the day, you get to a point where like it's like you're chasing for what? Like, what is my ultimate purpose here? And I think a lot of times as humans, we might confuse our gift with our purpose. Maybe our gift that we were given was just something, what we call it, a vehicle, just a vehicle we use to drive us to get to a platform, to expose ourselves to people, to serve and fulfill our purpose. Maya Moore is one of the greatest basketball players to ever live in all of human history. And Maya Moore could give a rat's tail that she's one of the greatest basketball players in human history. What she cares is what she was able to do with the platform as one of the greatest basketball players ever. And that's promote positivity and, like she said, relationships with everybody, regardless of the differences and background differences. And, you know, you're talking about someone who was a star student, number 1 prospect, all over everywhere, all over ESPN magazines, blah blah blah, you know, pretty much, you know, like the golden child, right? With no blemishes on her record. She was known as a good kid all of her life. Number 1 pick, best player in college basketball, dominated college basketball, dominated the WNBA, Jordan Brand athlete. I believe she was the first woman to sign with Jordan Brand. I might be mistaken with that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And she uses, yeah. And then, by the way, the biggest relationship that she's building behind closed doors, that's another takeaway I have from it, is a man who's in prison for murder. And he's saying he's not guilty. And not only did she trust and believe him in that, she worked with him and built a genuine relationship with him. Obviously, that forged into something romantic as the years went on. But that's just ridiculous. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Another thing, just on a lighter note, fellas, this is a thing, man. This is a thing. I was thinking about this when I was watching this. Shooting your shot, fellas. You just never know with these women. You just never know with women, bro. Like, sometimes you might think you was in your bag and you was doing all this. The whole time she talking to a man through JPay in prison. Like, and they've been building a relationship and a rapport for years. So fellas, like, you just never know. You just never know. Don't take it personally, whatever. If you miss your shot, you just never know what's going on with some woman, man. Like, you know, and that goes for anybody shooting their shot. You know, you just never know what's happening on the other side of that door that you're trying to knock on and try to get inside. So, yeah, that was it. This is a road to 2K subs. This is probably like a 30-minute video. But I hope you all enjoyed it and enjoyed the speech and stuff like that. I tried to not talk over it too much. I know I did in a couple places. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm only human. I messed up. I'm sorry. I make mistakes, dude. But yeah, take care of yourselves. Stay safe. All that good stuff. And yeah, be easy.